Welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead. Hey, today we're gonna make some pumpkin pie. So stick around. All right, we're gonna make some pumpkin pie. I'm gonna show you a really easy recipe. It doesn't take hardly any time besides the baking time. And we're gonna start with the crust. And so what you're gonna need is a bowl, a little over a cup of flour, give or take a little, it's not gonna hurt either way. We're gonna do a half a cup of lard or Crisco or whatever you have, okay? We render our own lard. I'm out of it, so we won't be getting any more till next month. So I've had to buy it from the store, but it is the lard. So that's what I use in all my pie crust, is lard. So then you're gonna need about a half a cup of water. That's probably a little over a half a cup, but I just do it as I need it, so I'm not gonna like pour the whole thing in there. So just put you a little bit, half a cup of water. Unless you have your own pie crust recipe, then you just go ahead and do your own pie crust recipe. You're gonna need a rolling pin and a pie plate, 9-inch pie plate. I'm gonna put these back here so they're out of my way. And I've got everything pre-measured over here, so we're just gonna run right through this, okay? So we're gonna start out. If you're bad with flour like I am, you probably want to put something over your cloves. And I work with a lot of flour and I get so messy. Now, I'm going to tell you a story while we're doing this about this apron. But anyway, you're going to put your flour in here. And you're going to put your Crisco or your lard or whatever you have. Okay, some people use butter in their pie crust. I tried it and I didn't like it. But I guess it's just a personal preference. So I put that in there. Then you're going to get a pastry blender. If you don't have a pastry blender, just grab you a fork. It does the same thing. And you're just going to crumble this up and try not to spill it like I just did. And you're gonna, now you know why I get a little over a cup, right? But you're going to just make this to a kind of a, where it looks like small pea-sized little bits in here, okay, with your flour and your lard. And sometimes we'll get that lard cold and it helps. It does a lot better. Right now it's warm, so it's gonna take me a little bit, but that's okay because I'm gonna tell you the story. So I worked at a boys' home for a few years, and every time that I would get ready to leave, I cooked there. Every time I would get ready to leave, I would say, all right, boys, I'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing. You know, like we do in all of our videos. And if you don't know why we say that, read the book of James. I encourage you to read the book of James. And it's a little bit of a toe stomper, but it's good. It's good. Any of God's word is good. But anyway, so I would say, Lord willing. Well, one day I was so busy. I had so much going on. I don't even know what all was going on, but I just was really busy. I wasn't even thinking, and I walked right out that door after saying this, now mind you, for a long time. And I walked right out that door and they hollered at me, and I went back in. I said, what, boys? I'm in a hurry. They said, Miss Chris, you didn't say Lord willing. And I just about I did break down. And just thinking about it makes me want to break down. But anyway, so I told them, I said, all right, well, Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow then. So, you know, the moral to the story is, don't ever think that your kids aren't listening to you, because they are. Anyway, that's the story of this apron. And it's just a thing that, you know, we always say, because in the book of James, it says, don't boast and brag about you being here tomorrow. Don't say, well, I'll see you next year, or I'll see you then, and I'll see you there and here and this time and that time, because we don't know how much time we have on this earth, right? From 1 minute to the next, we just don't know. And it would be boasting or bragging if you said you were definitely going to be here tomorrow, you know, because you don't know that you're going to be here tomorrow. So that is the reason I actually wanted to do a video of Tim and I talking to you about it. Why we even say that, but anyways, it just come out on this one, so be it. That's the way it is. All right, so I've got all this crumbled in here. It's a little bigger in pea size, but like I said, my my lard is a little bit soft. So, you know, it's not cold or nothing, just room temperature. Anyway, you can just kind of do that with your fingers too at the end. So then I take some water, cold water, and I'm gonna pour a little bit at a time. And I'm not gonna do this with my hands at first because I'll have it all over my hands and it'll waste my dough. I think that's all we're gonna need, period. That wasn't even a half a cup. That was more like a fourth of a cup, maybe a little less than a fourth. So just do a little at a time, okay? Don't pour in a whole bunch or you're gonna be adding more flour, okay? Then, after I do that, I grab me a little bit of salt. Now, you remember the story I told you about the salt? All those little grindy pieces in there, those little different specks of different colors because it's Redmond sea salt. And so I was throwing away a lot of dough because I thought there was dirt or something in it. And I'm like, oh, when I figured it out, I was so aggravated, you guys. Because I haven't always used this, you know, before that I used table salt, but I don't use table salt no more. But I did for years and years and years. So now I use this. So I'm gonna just put like a half of a teaspoon. Okay, I gotta get this off my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, now after I put my salt in there, I'm gonna get my hands dirty again. If it is a little sticky, all you have to do, which mine is because I was talking and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, but all you have to do is grab you a little more flour. Not a lot, or you'll be going back and forth all day long doing this, okay? So just a little bit, just to get it kind of where you want it, just kind of a soft dough. That's where you want it, okay? Because after you put it on the thing, it's gonna, your tabletop, and you're gonna have flour on it like this. So you're gonna get a little more flour in it anyway, okay? So you actually want a little, let me get all this out of my way, because when I start doing this, I'm telling you, flour's probably gonna start flying. Let me get over here where you can see me. So, put this down like this. Now you don't want to work this dough, you don't want to knead it, you don't, not your pie crust, okay? Don't do that to your pie crust, or you will, it won't be a good pie crust for you. So you just want to be real gentle with it, okay? And you're gonna flip it over, so you got a little there. And then you're gonna take your pan. Now I know a lot of you ladies know how to make pie crust, but there's a lot of people that don't know how. And there's a lot of women getting back in the kitchen, and I'm so happy for that. And there's a lot of young ladies that may know, they may want to know how to do this. So here we go. We're gonna roll this out a few times, okay? And just be gentle with it. I wish I could show you these specks of salt in here because you would think it was dirt. I'm not kidding you. Well, anyways, then we're gonna pick it up because we don't want that to stick to that, to your board, which it did a little bit. So you just put a little bit more flour, okay? I don't know if you guys can see this. I gotta show you though. See those specks in there? So if you ever see any specks in my food, it's not dirt. It is sea salt. Okay, so we're gonna lay this back down on here. Isn't that crazy? So then you're gonna roll it out a little more and just be gentle with it. You don't wanna be rough with it. I mean, you're not gonna hurt it, but you don't wanna be real rough with it, you know? Then we're gonna pick it up again. We're gonna put some more flour on our board. Okay? You with me? Stay with me. Put a little on top. We want it to stay soft, okay? I had a lady, a subscriber to our channel, ask if I could do something that I like to bake. The best thing I like to bake. If I could do a recipe. And whew, it's been a long time since she wrote that, and I apologize to her for this because I've been so busy. But if I had to pick one thing that I like to bake the very most of, it would be a pie. It would absolutely be a pie. I know I bake a lot of stuff and have baked a lot of stuff, but I just like to bake pies, and I don't know why. I don't know why, because it's not my favorite thing to eat, but I love to bake them. You know, some people like to do cakes, some people like cookies, some people like this or that. I like pies. And I don't know why it is. Okay, so then we're gonna pull that up. You see how that pulled up real good there, and it's real soft. We're gonna put this right on our pie plate. Now, I've got it down to a niche where I know how big to make it around. If you're not sure and you just started this, take your pie plate and turn it upside down and kind of get a visual of that and go about this far past it all the way around, okay? And that's how big you're gonna need it. Because I mean, and I always, my one pans are 8 inches, and then my glass ones, most of my glass dishes are 9-inch, and I had a real big one. It was real pretty, had the fluted stuff around it. You didn't even have to mess with the outside crust. You just pressed it in there and it did it for you. It was really neat. But anyways, it was so big. Well, when we went to visit my mom a couple weeks ago, I took a pecan pie up there, and it was huge. And I said, you know what, just keep it. You keep it, because I hate making it in that because it's so big. But I loved the fluted part around the edge because you didn't have to mess with the crust. Now, with that being said, we're going to do this. We're going to do the crust. Now, there's several ways you can do it. And I've even got some kitchen gadgets that you can make a real pretty fluted edge. But I'm not going to do that because not everybody has those gadgets, right? So I'm going to show you, there's a couple of basic ways. Now I'm going to show you a couple different ones if I don't drop my salt all over the place. Probably the most common one I would say would be, let me get my water back over here, the fork one. I don't know what it's called. I don't care. Anyway, this is just how I learned how to do it. So you take the, let me, you know what? I'm going to put you down here where you can see it. So hold on a minute. I don't know how good that is. Let me turn you around here. I like this. I love this cart, you guys. Tim bought it for me because we don't have a lot of room in this kitchen. But in my new kitchen, Lord willing, we're going to have a big island that's stationary. And I won't be doing this all the time, rolling it. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I don't know why. Okay, so here, you just tuck this under, okay? And you don't want to cut this off because you want that thickness there. Because your crust, you want your crust to be kind of thick, you know, not, you don't want it paper thin or it'll burn, right? Okay. And we're going to wet our fork a little bit. Now, this is your most common one. And then you just take your fork and do that. You've seen that, right? Can you see that? You just take your fork and go down through there. That's your probably most common, I would think. I'm not sure, but I would think so. Now, this is the one I like to do, this one, because I'm a crust eater. When it comes to pie, you can take the filling. Just give me the crust. That's what I like. Always have since I was a kid. So, I do this. You take your, hope you can see this, guys. Your thumb and your 2 fingers here, and you're going to go like this. Okay? And you're going to do that all the way around. And it don't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it. It's your pie. See that? Or you can do that one. Or you can just do this and push it down. A lot of people do that. You don't have to use anything or use any effort. Just put it up there and push it down around the sides. Okay? So you do your pie however you want to do it. And you know what? I'm going to leave it just like this. And I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to leave what I've done here. I'll do this side. And we'll do a couple more of these. And then we'll just have this is my learning pie, my teaching pie. Okay? Kind of knocked that off. But really, it don't matter. Just however you want to do it. All right? I prefer this one. But a lot of people prefer this one because it's easy. And then there's gadgets you can buy. And there's all kinds of fancy stuff you could do with it. But I don't do all that. Because, you know, we're eating it. So, here you have it. Any way you want to do it, okay? Now, we're going to put the filling in here. So we're not going to poke holes. You've seen people poke holes with a fork. That's only if you are going to pre-bake your pie shell, okay? And we're not going to. So don't put holes in here because your stuff will stick. Your pumpkin will stick to the bottom. No holes. All right, now I'm going to clean this up real quick, okay? And then I'll be back because I'm going to show you how to mix the filling. So I'll be right back. All right, now we're going to do the filling. So I've got a can of pumpkin, okay? It's 100% pure pumpkin. Don't buy that pumpkin mix, puree, whatever. No, you need 100% pumpkin. Now, I don't know why we did not plant pumpkins this year. And just try them. We've never planted them. And just try them and see how they come out. Because we did watermelon, we did cantaloupe, we did gourds. Our garden is full of gourds. So I'm thinking we probably could have did pumpkin, and I probably should have because I really like pumpkin. But I, for whatever reason, didn't. So I bought it, okay? And I just noticed that this can says no preservatives on it. Okay, well, that's a good thing. So I'm going to open this can of pumpkin. And yes, I still have the hand one, so I don't have to. I have limited counter space, if you can't ever tell on these videos. I don't have a lot of counter space. One reason we're putting the kitchen out of here, because I need more counter space. Anyways, and I worked for Pampered Chef for a while. And I still have I have all kinds of Pampered Chef still from years and years ago. So I still have this. And I use it, and it's good. It's a good kitchen gadget. So I got my mixing bowl out here that I'm going to put on my stand-up mixer. I'm going to put this pumpkin in here in my mixing bowl that I'm going to put up on my stand-up mixer. Put the whole thing of pumpkin in there. Then you're going to have a can of evaporated milk. It's 12 ounces. I'll put the recipe underneath the description like I always do. And you're going to just open it with this church key. Did you know that that's what these things were called? I never knew that until not too long ago. I was looking for, I'll tell you why. I was looking for a thing to open my lids on my ball jars, on my canning jars, where I wouldn't mess them up too bad and I could reuse them. Not when I'm doing them in the pressure cooker, but when I'm just doing them, when I'm water bathing, you know, is that where I wouldn't mess them up and I could reuse my lids a few times. And so I tried different things. And here's what they call a church key. And I found these online. And I bought one. I thought that'll be perfect. But it didn't work. It didn't work for me. So then Tim brought me home this. And it's got this little metal thing here. And it comes down. I don't even know what this is. But it works perfect. So that's what I use for my can lids. Anyway, that's how I found out they call them things church keys. Which I thought was kind of weird. But whatever. So we're going to pour this milk in here. And I wish you could, I'm going to show you this when I get done. I feel like, well, we're just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to pour the whole thing in there. And then I've got 2 eggs, and I kind of scrambled them up, and they've been sitting at room temperature. I'm going to put that in there. And then you need a 1/2 cup of sugar. That's why I like pumpkin pie, because it doesn't take a whole lot of sugar, and it tastes so good, you guys. 1/2 cup of sugar, that's it. For a whole pie. I mean, that's not bad when you're making sweets and baking goods and stuff. I mean, that's little to no sugar, right? And then I already put that salt. I already pre-measured my spices, guys. So on your spices, you're going to have ground ginger, cinnamon, and whole ground cloves. I'm sorry. But I also put a little bit of pumpkin spice in mine too, because I just like that blend, and it's got allspice and different things in it too. So I'll put that underneath there on the recipe so you guys can make it just like I make it. So you can try it, and I'm just almost sure you're going to want it this way every year. And then I put, I pre-measured everything and put it in here. So I'm going to put my spices in here. And would you believe it or not, that is it. That's it. Now I'm going to get my whisk. Now look at this. This is the first time I bought this. My grandkids tell me all the time, Nanny, you got so many kitchen gadgets. Why do you have so many kitchen gadgets? I like kitchen gadgets. I like them. I don't know why. I use them. Every one I have, I use. Well, this is new. I found this at the antique shop. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything like that? I hadn't. It's a whisk, and it's in good shape. And you can tell the handle's old, but all this is not rusted or nothing. So anyways, I haven't used it. We're going to try it. Oh, yeah. This is better than my other one. Now, I have a Pampered Chef one that I've had for years. Now, see, someday my stuff will be antique. The kids tell me all the time I'm already antique, but this is my Pampered Chef one. But this one works way better. Way better. See, I don't know why. We change things and we mess things up so much. I mean, we didn't mess this up. This is still good. I use this all the time. But I mean, it's like, if it's good, leave it alone, right? Why do we got to mess with stuff? Why do we got to change stuff? I don't know. And yes, I did have just a tiny bit left. Not much. Not much, but a tiny bit. And I don't think I might be able to squeeze it in there. Yeah, we'll squeeze it in there. Let's just do it. Then we're not wasting it. And it is going to draw up a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Okay, all gone. Now, we're going to put this in a 425 degree, I think it's 425. Yes, 425 degree oven. My suggestion would be, with any pie, to put it on a cookie sheet or something, or make sure you got something underneath to catch anything, okay? Other than that, it looks really funny because I have a little piece with the fork crust, and I have a little piece with the that crust, and then it goes back to the fork. But this is our learning pie. This is our learning pie. I'm teaching here, okay? So it ain't gonna look the best probably when it comes out, but it's gonna, I bet you anything, it's gonna taste good. Okay, so we're gonna put it in there, and while this is cooking, because I think it takes an hour maybe, I don't know, I'll put it underneath the thing when I look at my paper. But anyways, I am going to get busy on my English muffins. I got to get them going. I didn't get nothing done yesterday, so I make bread all through the week. Y'all know that. So I'm going to get busy on that, and I'll bring you back when this is cooled off, and we'll try it, okay? And I might even make some homemade whipped topping. I think I have some heavy cream in the refrigerator. So that's what we'll do, okay? Lord willing, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, before I forget, I just looked at my recipe, and what I do is I cook it at 425 for 15 minutes, okay? After 15 minutes, you're gonna bring the heat down to 350. So turn your oven down to 350, and you're gonna cook it 45 minutes longer, or until a toothpick comes out clean, right? You know that deal. So I wanted to tell you that before I forget and come back, and then I forgot to tell you, okay? All right, guys, I got that pie done, and it's cooled off enough that I can cut a piece, and I made up some whipped topping, Cool Whip, whatever you want to call it. I got me some heavy cream, and I'll put that in here. I'll splice it in here so you can see me whipping that up in here. It's better than any Cool Whip you'll ever buy at the store. But anyway, there's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? And it's all set up. Let's see what it tastes like. I always get me a little dollop of this on here, like that. You can eat pumpkin pie without it, but it's really good with it. Okay, let's see. Like I said, I like the crust better than anything, but I do love pumpkin pie. That's the best. That's so good. Now, the crust. That's the best part. Try some of this too. Now listen, I put probably a cup of this in here with about a tablespoon and a half of sugar. I know it sounds like a lot, but it tastes good. It ain't gonna, I mean, you might as well just do it, right? You're already eating the pumpkin pie. It don't have hardly any sugar in it, so you'll be all right. It'll level out. So get you some of that. Make you some of that, to put on top of this and fix this for the season coming up. Fall's coming up, Thanksgiving's coming up. We're always thankful, right? Every single day we're thankful, and every single day we're blessed, right? Because we're still breathing. If we're still breathing, we're still blessed. So anyway, I'll get off here, and Lord willing, I will see you on the next video. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.